Okay, in between the break that I took and now, I have tightened up some of the timing. So this flows a little nicer. Boom. Okay. So now we need to deal with the punch. I wonder. Let's see. 1, 2. Yeah, that's on twos. So, what happens if we put that on 1? Nah, too smooth. So, now what we need to do is get the anatomy here figured out. So, draw mode. Okay, what did I just do? Darn it. What did I just do? I've done this before, and I have no idea what I just did. I hit some key combination that made my timeline disappear, so I know you guys are out there going, Dave, you're a complete, total blithering idiot. I know. I am. It's not the timeline. It's not. Okay. What I'm going to do is, unbelievably, okay. Dope sheet. So Shift F12, Shift F6. That's weird. I never hit F6, so how it switched, I absolutely have no clue. Oh well. Onward and upward. Okay, so with that, we are drawing. I don't know why I didn't have the hand in here in this sketch. Okay. So this is actually kind of an interesting pose. Because if you think about it, that's where his elbow would be, so therefore this has to be crazily foreshortened. Crazily, I say. So I'm going to give him a little bit of dynamic latissimus dorsi action going on here. Frankly, his hips would pivot like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the hip indicator right there. So if that's his pec line, then I'm going to say his pec line is going to go something like that, which means there's a six-pack. Here, of course, you can't really see it. But yeah, that works out okay. I'm going to just draw this as simply as I can. And I am going to erase his face out of there. So obviously when we ink this, we're going to want to put in some more appropriate knuckle action. It's kind of a, whoops, I hit the Krita and OpenTunes, the comma and period map to next keyframe, last keyframe, whereas they don't in Blender, so hence I accidentally hit one of them and got the undesirable result of the pivot point option jumping up at me. Jumping up and almost biting me, I say. Okay, so yeah, every once in a while I do have to sort of remember my hotkeys. Okay, so by the way, today is Father's Day, so my kids are contacting me, so I want to kind of be aware of my phone today. And here, just going to hide that. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Okay, let's save early, save often. And see how she goes. Yeah, that works. Okay, I'm going to leave the rest to another scene, because what happens is after he clocks the guy, and obviously this was in a different spot in the old version of it, then we're going to have to do this shot with the sort of looking up angle, but we'll save that for another scene, I guess you'd say. Okay, whoops, didn't mean to do that. So let's go here and let's just look at what the leg situation would be. I think it'd be pretty much like this. So with that, what I'm going to do is just grab these strokes, Control C, Control V, Control V, yeah, I think that'll be fine. Control Shift A, double A. I always forget that hotkey's different in Blender 2.8 compared to Blender 2.79. So File, Save. Okay. Now, one question that does come to mind. Do we want to put... Let's add a layer. And I'm just going to toy with this a bit. What if we put in a... I'll just go like this to indicate Akari's unfortunate condition, which we might actually see her heel poked out here behind her. Alright, so let's zoom in. So one of the nice things about Blender is you've got not only an infinite canvas, but you've also got a really an unlimited scaling, meaning you can zoom in, tighten up your drawing, and zoom back out, and it works out well. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking is, let's do this. This is gonna be an interesting challenge. I'm gonna put it in here just because I think it might fit. So I'm gonna put an indicator there for her knee, there for her other knee. Okay, and the reason I'm doing that is that's going to be my anchor. That's going to be the thing that does. Hello? Wait, why is it jumping? Okay, that's bizarre. There's a key there. Why is it jumping? Oh, I know why. Because I must have had the wrong layer selected. So I'm going to say Akari Sketch. And it's an occupational hazard with all these programs. You probably noticed. 1, 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1, 2. And I drew the line in between them so that it wouldn't disappear before I was ready for it to disappear. Okay, and now with that, I'm going to dupe this, boom. Yep, I'm going to give it 4 keys. So now if we're going to give it 4 keys, actually, believe it or not, her bosom is probably the most sensible thing to be anchoring on here. So now we're going to go, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to sort of make it like an M shape. Like that. The reason I'm doing that is because what's actually going to happen here is she's going to go boom. And let's put in one more, I think. So I'll go ahead and do this so I again know where her knees are. And then basically here's what's happening is she's falling backwards. So you might say her hand might land here. This would be basically her belly button situation. So I'm gonna, yeah, that worked out pretty well. Okay, so this triangle kind of tells us a lot about the foreshortening here. Okay, so now that we've done that, we could probably create a good pathway here with her shoulders. Like so. Shoulder, 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 shoulder. Okay, little bit high there. Okay, so head, 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 head. Get it? Okay, so here's her big ponytail, which is going to fall behind. Now you can't see it. I'm going to put her pigtails in there. And then they're going to kind of fall out as well. So actually her chin, I'm just going to put in an indicator here. Her chin would basically be there. So this would flatten out a bit. And now the corners of her square jaw would be about there. And there'd be a little bit of a secondary action with her hair. Right? Okay, one could argue that the ponytail would actually do this. So let's just look at what that feels like. Boom. Yeah, so she's falling backwards. Now the problem we have here is going to be the blankie. I mean the garment that Zen covered her with. So let's just get our bearings here. So she's covered. Okay, fine. That's fine. Even though I've done a bunch of drawings that would sort of seem to indicate she's not covered. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a lump right here. Okay, and this lump is going to be, this is the blanket. Okay? Lump. Okay, lump. Lump. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can erase the shoulder and the bosom, since the blanket's definitely going to be over top of that stuff. Boom. Boom. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. Kind of glad I decided to go ahead and do this. So Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some contours in here. This is kind of the old thing I talk about sometimes about going from the known to the unknown. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go like that, and then I'm going to use that to show where the blanket's going to sort of pick up some wrinkles like that as it goes. So we'll see some I like it. And this would be this right here. I'm going to put an arrow on that just so I know this is actually the only place in her head where you'd be seeing some flesh tone. So now what I'm going to do is sort of try to interpolate out where would her arms fall. So forearm, forearm, forearm. Yeah. So we're kind of assuming here that she's holding the blanket situation together with her left hand. Okay, I'm going to give that a little bit more secondary motion. Maybe a little flip up there. Okay, so now let's watch it. Okay, so now when we go here, or I should say here, we need to just boom, draw so that we create a keyframe to effectively erase Akari out of the drawing. Although, to be perfectly fair, actually it needs to be reinserted here, and then the erasure needs to be reinserted, I think, there. Yeah. Okay. How are we doing on our time? Yeah, 17. Okay, that's it. Okay, since I have to glue these videos together, I'm going to go ahead and stop right there. Go do a workout, then I'll come back and finish up.